We'll go to the park, laugh away the blues. People will stare, asking have they lost their minds. And when it gets dark, we'll play our favorite tune, heart and soul. Dance under the moon. When my dreams get so hazy and skies become gray, you'll be the one to guide me home. For miles and miles, been sailing through the sea to find you here, standing next to me. So, my love, be my everything, heart of gold. Stay here for a while. When your life gets so crazy, you lose your way. I'll be the one to guide you. I was caught in the middle, never noticed how much I look like you. I was making all riddles, how I always wanted to look like you. But I do, I look like you. Oh, I do, I look like you. For all the days and all the nights we didn't get to spend together, we will make it up from now and forever. For all the ways I try to find just to make it all look better, now I do, 'cause I look like you. I look like you. I look like you. I was used to being little. When I grew up, everyone was always bigger. Then I learned I'm not a quitter. When you showed me I am taller than I look, I guess I look like you. Oh, I do, I look like you. For all the days and all the nights we didn't get to spend together, we will make it up from now and forever. For all the ways I try to find just to make it all look better, now I do, 'cause I look like you. For all the days and all the nights we didn't get to spend together, we will make it up from now and forever. For all the ways I try to find just to make it all look better, now I do, 'cause I look like you. I look like you. I look like you. I look like you.
I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you, 'cause there's so many ways that I want to carve out our names for a last minute plane, just us two. We can chase the sun as it sets in the mountains, find luck like a bet in Greek fountains, my chest. I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. Every day another I do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do. I hope you can hear every note that my heart sings, like a choir of bells, and they all ring. Oh, can't you tell, neath the timpani swells and heartstrings, there's a place deep in our hearts where it matters. We can stay there forever and after, written in stars right above where we are. I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. Every day another I do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do. I say that I love you. Every day another I do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do.
It's sunny as I fall out from the sky, and I'm wondering what I do. Just a moment ago, been on the perfectly go, kept following birthday view. I'm not told that I'm going to leave and step behind all the things people do as if it's all of mine. Now I won't, and isn't it funny to have a walk in sunlight? Then I get them out of my mind. Then all the things I used to do ain't gonna waste my precious time of thinking of what do I do. All trees go blossom, time is flying, days of spring will never come like these. I love the rain, it sounds die. They die away down on the street. They get me sometimes, drag out from the sky, and now I'm wondering how it works. just a moment ago. Being on that perfectly grow, kept following birds a few. They flew in sunlight there. I get them out of my mind. Then all the things I used to do ain't gonna waste my precious time. I'm thinking of what do I do? All trees love blossom, tides it's flying. Days of spring will never come like these. I love the rain, it sounds die. They die away down on the street. Get them out of my mind. All the things I used to do ain't gonna waste my precious time thinking of what do I do. I get them out of my mind. Then all the things I used to do ain't gonna waste my precious time thinking of what do I do.
I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you, 'cause there's so many ways that I want to carve out our names, board a last minute plane, just us two. We can chase the sun as it sets in the mountains, find luck like a bet in Greek fountains, or lay lazy in bed with your head on my chest. I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. Every day another I do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do. I hope you can hear every note that my heart sings, like a choir of bells, how they all ring. Oh, can't you tell, neath the timpani swells and heartstrings, there's a place deep in our hearts where it matters. We can stay there forever and after, written in stars right above where we are. I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. Every day another I do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do. ask myself what I miss more. Thought of you walking out the door, through the late fights and long nights. I don't know why I even cried. I didn't know we had a love that could even hurt this deep. What do you expect when you've given everything? I don't know how much my heart can take. I've been trying to get by, but it's fake. It's not like I would take you back. Things would be the same. Oh, I gotta give it to you, love. You left your mark, and I'm trying to be okay. I lost the remembrance of your face. All the times you cursed me, you filled its place. People say I'm the best they've ever seen. Guess a man looks different when he finally breathes. You seem closer than you ever did before. Then again we feel when the spirits pour. 'Cause I don't know how much my heart can take. I've been trying to get by, but it's fake. It's not like I would take you back. Things would be the same. Oh, I gotta give it to you.
Late night sitting under starlight, searching for the meaning in the beauty that we see. Come bathe in the glow. Back roads where the magic unfolds. Happiness is simple, all you need is to believe. Come jump in the glow. It's always in my head, can never get enough. Got summer feeling left. Me and my friends dance until we drop, and the good times don't stop. The good times don't stop. The good times don't stop. TEMPTED. I was tempted, tempted by your smile. I was tempted, and for a little while I was certain that I will be the one to change you, and you will be mine. You will be mine. I was tempted, tempted by your eyes. I was tempted, the promises